So I remember arguing with my with friends back in the day about Red versus Meth. I was always a big Meth fan, more than a Redman fan from a rapping standpoint. But it's because of the soul that Meth brings to that Meth used to bring to rapping, right? Like just the way Meth would do his voice. I just was a big fan of his delivery and his voice and that kind of stuff. But I couldn't front that Redman, like line for line, bar for bar, was probably getting them. You know, like you gotta like I
on
couldn't
Blackout. He wins Blackout, dog.
But
he
even
wins
before,
Blackout.
like I just. Yeah, Redman raps better than Method Man. Like that's what I would have to like admit that in my arguments, right? Blackout comes out, and then Red murders him on every song, and you're like, oh man, this is tough, you know. And the thing is, Meth. I think Meth. This is my opinion, but I feel like Meth heard that take and was like, and for my next trick, and Meth started writing the greatest raps of his life. In the last
he dialed back the style, but he ramped up the pen. So it was
crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So like Meth. So like now I'm scared of there being a third Blackout album because I'm like, this guy can't keep up with this guy. This guy's on another planet right now. Now, to the quick point about Zilla saying like, like Raekwon's a poet. This is just a quick opportunity for me to stand on my podium.
Redman or Raekwon? You mean
Raekwon?
Okay, yeah.
This is a quick opportunity for me to stand on a podium and yell out why it's been so important for me over the last last however many years to work on music with different time signatures and different, rhyming on the loops. You know what I'm saying? Instead of always because. It's so easy, and I hear it on this record. It's so easy to get trapped in the drums, and the drums tell you to rap like this. So you rap like this on every song, and it doesn't allow for you to dance. And even in writing, it doesn't allow for you to get funky with ideas and slangs and twists because it's doing this.
Yeah, 2-4. Right.
It's just tough. So like I hear the restriction in the rap, and I don't even blame it as much on, Red is Red, but I blame it a lot on the fact that, bro, if you rap on the same beats for 30 years, you're not gonna come up with new rap.
Yep.
It's not that. That's why like even when you hear Kendrick new album, and it's like, okay, these are the type of beats that you would have never theoretically expected a Kendrick record to be on. Man, Kendrick probably trying to just rap different because you start running out of shit to say to the same beats.
Yep.
And that's where I hear it. And like this song, the beat is dope. It's probably one of the better beats on there. But Redman does a lot, and on this song he does a lot of shouting. It's a lot of the OG shit that Sean said, waving his finger, and
he flips what the blood clot. I like that shit.
I also don't like raps that are like, I'm not a big fan about rapping about hip hop and rapping about like, it's not rapping about rapping. So like, I like rapping about like, I'm better than you. I always like, I'm better than you. I could do I'm better than you all day. But rapping about I'm better than you is a little bit too much for me. And then rapping about like, hip hop and hip hop history, hip hop.
That happens quite a bit on this record. Quite a bit.
It does. But it also comes from a place, if you've seen Meth and Red perform in the last 5 years, like they're very in defense of the 90s. They talk about it a lot. They're like, yo.
They talks about it on this fucking album, bro.
So I get it. Yeah. I get it. And I'm not gonna go as far as Zilla to say like I hate all the rapping on this album. I don't really hate all the rapping.
I do. I really do. I hate.
There's a lot of rapping that I do like on this record.
Ridiculous.
But
so bad.
There's a through line for the joints I like. But there's a lot of rapping I do like on this record. But this isn't one of them. So for me, this one would have been a cut.
One last thing I'll say before we move on to the next song is that something that MidaZ and I were discussing before we started recording was there's an excellent Ambrosia for Heads interview podcast that Redman did. And it's such a revelatory interview with him talking about his belief system and like his philosophy and maturity. And he's saying that he doesn't drink anymore and he doesn't smoke anymore.
Well, he went a little while without smoking. He's definitely still smoking.
Okay, and like he was celibate for a year and he like got back with his girl after they were separated for an extended amount of time. It's just interesting that you get none of that from this album. So
because it was recorded in 2010, dog. All these songs were made in 2010.
That may be true. Look, in defense of Reggie Noble, I'm just saying that like I know what he's good at and I know what his brand is, and so I kind of go into a little bit of autopilot where like I'm ready, like I know what I'm getting for a Redman album.
Right.
And
it's like a Jason Statham movie, dog.
There's Sean, there's to add on to Sean, there's value in that. So one thing that helps me rate this album much higher is that it sounds kind of like what I thought it was gonna sound like. Which that works for me because I knew it was going to sound like this, and then it did sound like this. So I'm not too mad because it hit the actual expectation that I thought it was going to hit. I didn't expect it to sound like Muddy Waters because none of the albums have sounded like Muddy Waters.
Right. So then why call it Muddy Waters too? Just call it
because it's
Red is back again. What anything?
It's the same thing like with any of the sequels that drop. I mean, it's just the album that's gonna get the most. You can't call it Docs the Name 2. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna work. So I get
Docs the Name 2002
plus 23 plus
but I'm not mad at it sounding like what I thought it was gonna sound.
Okay,
like, all right. If it sounded worse, it sounds better than what I thought it was gonna sound like. Actually, to be completely honest, but if it sounded worse, that'd be an issue.
Guys, I just want to point out we have 29 more songs to get through.
Well, so we had to set the stage.